At the very beginning of the story, we are taken to a magical forest, a beautiful land filled with extraordinary creatures of every kind. This forest is alive with magic. Here we meet a sweet young girl, who is actually a fairy. Her name is Maleficent, and she is the queen and protector of this enchanted forest. One day, while Maleficent is flying through the woods, she senses that a human has entered her land. Alert and curious, she rushes to investigate. There she finds a young boy named Stefan. Maleficent asks him, "Who are you, and what are you doing in my forest?" Stefan explains that he lives in a nearby human kingdom. He says he spotted a precious gemstone, picked it up, and that's why the magical creatures started attacking him. Hearing this, Maleficent calmly takes the gem from Stefan and throws it back into the water, returning it to the forest. Then she says, "Come with me, I'll take you safely out of this place." She guides Stefan out of the forest. As he prepares to leave, Stefan says, "I'll go for now, but I promise I'll come back someday." Maleficent warns him, "This is a magical forest. It's not safe for humans." But Stefan replies softly, "I have no one in this world. Would you be my friend?" Maleficent pauses, then says, "I don't have anyone either." And just like that, a friendship is born. Suddenly, Maleficent touches Stefan's ring and feels a sharp burn. She pulls back in pain and explains, "Fairies are allergic to iron. It burns us." Shocked and worried, Stefan immediately throws the ring away. In that moment, Maleficent begins to trust him. Soon after, Stefan leaves. However, unknown to Maleficent, the human kingdom Stefan belongs to wants to conquer the forest because it is filled with priceless treasures. Despite this, Maleficent and Stefan continue meeting in secret. They laugh, play, and grow closer. Years pass, and now both of them are 16 years old. Their friendship slowly turns into love. Maleficent starts believing that humans are kind and good-hearted, but what she doesn't realize is that humans are also capable of greed. One day, Maleficent sits alone, lost in thought. Stefan hasn't visited her in over a year. She suddenly remembers something he once said, that one day, he would take over the kingdom and become king. But Maleficent loves him deeply, so she never questions his intentions. Just then, she sees something terrifying. The human king is marching toward the forest with a massive army, planning to seize it by force. Maleficent immediately flies down and stands boldly in front of her forest. She tells the king, "You cannot take this land." The king replies coldly, "A king does not follow anyone's orders." Maleficent answers fearlessly, "You are not our king. You have no power here." Enraged, the king orders his soldiers to kill her, believing she is alone. But in the next moment, Maleficent uses her magic to summon the dark and powerful creatures of the forest. From every direction, terrifying magical beings rise. A brutal battle breaks out between the army and the creatures. The soldiers are no match. They are injured, overwhelmed, and forced back. Maleficent herself attacks the king, but thanks to his iron armor, he barely survives. Terrified, the army retreats, and the king returns to his kingdom in defeat. Time passes. The king grows old, weak, and desperate. He gathers his people and says, "You all know how much treasure lies in that forest. It has always been my dream to claim it. But now, I no longer have the strength to fight." Then he makes a deadly promise. "Whoever kills Maleficent will be crowned king and married to my daughter." Suddenly, a young man steps forward and says, "I will kill Maleficent and bring you her head." That man is Stefan, the same Stefan who once claimed to love her. And in this moment, we finally understand just how deep Stefan's greed truly runs. We then see Stefan entering the forest, calling out Maleficent's name. Maleficent appears before him and asks, "Where have you been all these years? Did you never think about me?" Stefan replies, "I got busy with my life and responsibilities, but I never forgot you." He then adds, "I came here today to warn you. The king wants you dead. You need to be careful." They sit together and begin talking, just like old times. Maleficent forgives him, because she still doesn't know that Stefan has become a greedy man. Slowly, Stefan manipulates her with his words and gives her a sleeping potion. Within moments, Maleficent loses consciousness. Stefan pulls out a dagger, planning to kill her, but he can't do it. Despite everything, he still loves her, yet his desire for the throne is stronger. That's when a dark idea crosses his mind. Instead of killing Maleficent, he decides to cut off her wings. When Maleficent finally wakes up, she feels unbearable pain. She looks behind her and realizes her wings are gone. Only deep wounds remain. Devastated, Maleficent breaks down. She cries and screams in agony, not just from the pain, but from the betrayal of the one she loved the most. Meanwhile, Stefan takes Maleficent's wings to the king and says, "Look, I've kept my promise." The king is overjoyed. Stefan is crowned the new king of the kingdom, and at last his ambition is fulfilled. Back in the forest, Maleficent is completely broken. Without her wings, she can no longer fly. One day while wandering through the woods, she sees a crow trapped in a hunter's net. Feeling pity, Maleficent uses her magic to turn the crow into a human. Terrified, the hunter believes he has seen a monster and runs away. The crow approaches Maleficent and thanks her. When he asks why she saved him, Maleficent replies, "I can't explain, but I felt compassion for you." The crow says, "You saved my life. I will serve you for the rest of my life." Maleficent accepts and names him Diaval. She sends Diaval to the palace to discover why Stefan betrayed her. Diaval returns with the truth. Stefan betrayed Maleficent only to become king, and he cut off her wings to prove her death. Hearing this, Maleficent's heart turns cold. Her love for humans turns into hatred. Soon after, Stefan marries the king's daughter. A few months later, they welcome a baby girl into the world. The entire kingdom celebrates. Diaval hears the news and informs Maleficent about the child and the grand celebration. Using this moment, Maleficent secretly enters the palace. She approaches the baby and places a powerful curse. When this child turns 16, before the sun sets, she will prick her finger on a spinning wheel. She will fall into a deep sleep and she will never wake again. Stefan is shattered. He falls to his knees before Maleficent, begging for mercy. Maleficent coldly replies, "There is only one way to break the curse. If your daughter experiences true love's kiss on her 16th birthday." This only makes Stefan more desperate. He orders every spinning wheel in the kingdom to be destroyed and locks the remaining ones deep inside the palace. He then summons 3 small fairies and commands them, "Take my daughter far away from here. Do not bring her back until her 16th birthday passes. If you fail, the curse will come true." After this, Stefan prepares to attack the forest with his army once again, but he fails. Maleficent uses her magic to create powerful borders around the enchanted forest, ensuring that no greedy human can ever enter the magical land again. We then see the 3 fairies taking the baby far away into the forest, to a small, isolated cottage. There, they live disguised as humans and raise the child in secret. However, Diaval knows their location. He informs Maleficent, who secretly visits the cottage to watch from afar. At first, Maleficent tries to frighten the child, but the baby, Princess Aurora, starts laughing the moment she sees her. That single laugh softens Maleficent's heart, because deep down, Maleficent was never truly evil. She was always a kind fairy. The 3 fairies, on the other hand, have no idea how to care for a human child. They are careless and inexperienced. So from the shadows, Maleficent, through Diaval, feeds Aurora, protects her, and saves her life again and again from falling off cliffs, from tumbling out of trees, and from countless dangers. Years slowly pass. Princess Aurora grows older, and now she is 15 years old. Only 1 year remains before the curse is set to be fulfilled. Aurora lives with the 3 fairies on the far side of the forest border. She has never seen the world beyond it, which makes her endlessly curious about what lies on the other side. Maleficent notices this, and by now she has grown deeply attached to Aurora. Using her magic, Maleficent secretly guides Aurora into the enchanted forest, but Maleficent hides herself, believing Aurora would see her as an enemy. When Aurora regains consciousness, she realizes she is standing inside a magical forest. She is overjoyed. Suddenly, Aurora senses someone's presence. She calls out, "Is someone there? Please come out, I want to talk to you." Maleficent responds, "If you see me, you'll be afraid." Aurora replies confidently, "I won't be scared." Maleficent steps forward. To her surprise, Aurora smiles with excitement and says, "You're my fairy godmother, aren't you? You've been watching over me since I was little. I always felt you were nearby." She can't believe Aurora sees her that way. Aurora continues, "I also love your bird." Maleficent introduces her to Diaval and then takes Aurora to a peaceful pond. There, they laugh, play, and enjoy the moment together. Without realizing it, Maleficent has begun to truly love Aurora. That night, desperate to save her, Maleficent uses all her magic to try to undo the curse, but it fails, because when she cast the curse, she declared that no power in the world could break it, and that it would last until the very end. This realization leaves Maleficent shaken. Aurora's 16th birthday is dangerously close. So Maleficent begins to pray that Aurora will find true love in time, so the curse can be broken. The next day, Maleficent and Aurora are talking in the forest. Aurora asks, "All fairies have wings, so where are yours?" Maleficent quietly replies, "I had wings once, huge wings. They let me fly higher than the clouds." Then she adds sadly, "But a greedy human stole them from me." The pain overwhelms Maleficent. Seeing this, Aurora comforts her and says, "Please don't be sad. Tomorrow is my 16th birthday. I'll ask the fairies if I can come stay with you. You won't be alone anymore. I'll be with you." But Maleficent knows the truth. None of this can happen unless Aurora finds her true love, and that kind of love cannot happen in just one day. Later, as Aurora is walking home, she meets a young boy on the path, a prince about her age. The moment they see each other, they feel an instant connection, but soon after Aurora returns home, she tells the 3 fairies that she wants to leave the cottage. The fairies panic. They assume Aurora has learned that her real parents are alive and wants to go to the kingdom. Out of fear and frustration, the fairies finally reveal the truth about the curse, about the evil fairy who wants her dead. They tell her that fairy is Maleficent. Aurora is devastated. She refuses to believe it. Confused and heartbroken, she runs to Maleficent and asks her directly, "Is what I heard really true?" Maleficent gently tells Aurora, "Yes, Everything you heard is true. I was the one who cursed you, but my heart has changed. I did it because of your father, but now I don't want you to die. I love you more than you know." Aurora is deeply hurt. Without saying another word, she runs away. She rushes straight to the kingdom and throws her arms around her father, Stefan. "Dad, I missed you so much." The moment Stefan realizes it's Aurora, rage fills his eyes. He blames the three fairies. "I told you to bring her back after her birthday. Why is she here early?" Furious, Stefan orders his soldiers to lock Aurora inside an empty room, a room with nothing inside. But Stefan cannot stop the curse. As evening approaches, Aurora slowly rises, as if guided by an unseen force. She walks into another chamber, where the burned remains of spinning wheels are hidden. Under the power of the curse, Aurora reaches out and touches the sharp needle. Instantly, she falls into a deep sleep. The king is shattered. His daughter lies motionless, trapped in a sleep she may never wake from. Meanwhile, Maleficent is drowning in grief. Believing that Aurora might have feelings for the young prince, she asks Divil to bring him to the castle. Maleficent knocks the prince unconscious and rushes toward the kingdom. Back at the castle, the three fairies suggest to King Stefan, "Kiss her on the forehead. You are her father. Maybe you are her true love." Stefan lowers his head and says, "I could never be anyone's true love. I betrayed Maleficent, and because of that betrayal, everything has fallen apart." At the same time, Maleficent arrives at the castle with Divil and the prince. The entire palace is filled with iron traps set by Stefan to capture her. Still, Maleficent avoids every trap and reaches Aurora's chamber. She sends the prince inside. The prince kisses Aurora. Nothing happens. Aurora does not wake. In that moment, Maleficent realizes he is not her true love. Maleficent breaks down in tears. Standing beside Aurora, she whispers, "I will miss you so much. I will miss your smile. I can never bring you back." With a trembling heart, Maleficent kisses Aurora gently on the forehead and turns away. Suddenly, a soft voice calls out, "Wait, Godmother." Maleficent freezes. She turns around. Aurora is awake. This means only one thing. Maleficent's love was her true love, because Maleficent loved Aurora with a pure and selfless heart. Aurora smiles and says, "I want to live in the forest with you." Maleficent takes Aurora's hand and prepares to leave. But suddenly, Stefan's men throw iron nets over them. Stefan knew iron could burn fairies, and he used that knowledge against her. The entire castle is covered in iron. Trapped and helpless, Maleficent transforms Diavel into a mighty dragon. The dragon breathes fire, driving back the soldiers and freeing Maleficent. But Stefan himself steps forward. Covered in iron armor, he attacks Maleficent with his soldiers. Elsewhere, Aurora notices something incredible. Maleficent's wings, locked inside a box, they tremble as if trying to return to her. Aurora frees them. The wings fly on their own and reattach to Maleficent. Maleficent rises into the air once again. She frees the dragon and confronts Stefan. Stefan chains himself to her, and Maleficent carries him into the sky. She refuses to kill him, but Stefan attacks her from behind, grabbing her wings. Both of them begin to fall. Just before hitting the ground, Maleficent spreads her wings and flies away. Stefan continues falling and meets his end. The next morning, Maleficent removes the borders around the enchanted forest. Flowers bloom again. The land turns green and alive. Maleficent crowns Princess Aurora as the new queen of the magical forest. The human kingdom and the enchanted forest are finally united, and from that day on, they live together in peace, harmony, and happiness. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who loves magical stories.